Good morning, children. Welcome to today's class. Today we'll be starting a new topic, consumer equilibrium. Consumer equilibrium and demand. That's the name of the chapter. So the new topic for today is consumer equilibrium. Now, get ready to write down. How would we define a consumer? Who's a consumer? Simple it is. A consumer is one who buys goods and services for direct satisfaction of his wants. For direct satisfaction of wants. So a consumer is one who buys goods and services for direct satisfaction of his wants. Kindly note that down. A consumer is one who buys goods and services for direct satisfaction of his wants. Now, the objective of a consumer is to get maximum satisfaction from spending his given income on different goods and services. So the main objective of a consumer is that he must get maximum satisfaction. Isn't that a fact, children? When we spend money on any good and service, we see that the good or the services we are buying is satisfying our wants, or it is as equal to the amount spent. Otherwise, what do we say? This is not worth the price. At this price, we are not going to buy it. But if we feel that yes, the good or the service offered is for a particular price, and we feel that okay, this is worth it because our wants, our satisfaction is satisfied with this price, a consumer will go and buy that particular good and service. So the main objective of a consumer is his maximum satisfaction. What I am spending, I must get that much worth of satisfaction, or at least I must feel that I am satisfied by buying this particular good or a service. Now, how do we study or measure the consumer satisfaction? On the board, children, I have written two things. There are two methods by which we will study the consumer equilibrium or the consumer satisfaction. One is by the utility analysis, and the other one would be from the indifference curve analysis. Utility analysis and the indifference curve analysis. Now, the utility analysis is also called cardinal analysis, and the indifference curve analysis is called as the ordinal analysis. Now, what is the difference between cardinal and ordinal? We will give you the definition just now. But first and foremost, what do we see here? Utility. What is this utility? In economics, how would you define utility? Write down the definition. Utility is the power or capacity of a commodity to satisfy human wants. So utility is the power or capacity of a commodity to satisfy the human want. In other words, the want satisfying power of a commodity is utility. The want satisfying power of a commodity is utility. Now, utility is measured in terms, utility is measured in terms of cardinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It is measured in terms of cardinal numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can say when utility is expressed in exact units, it is called cardinal utility. Because here the utility is measured in exact units. This gives me 1 utils, 2 utils, 3 utils. Okay, and the measurement unit of utility is known as utils. UTILS. What is the measurement unit? The measurement unit of utility is utils. So I will say this product gives me 1 util or 2 utils or 3 utils. That is the measurement unit. Now, utility of a commodity is also expressed, write down, the utility of a commodity is also expressed in terms of money. Which a person is ready to spend. So this is cardinal. The utility is measured in exact units. Ordinal. What is ordinal? Ordinal is when the utility is expressed in ranks. When they are expressed in ranks. So you can rank your preference, whether one commodity is preferred over the other. This is my first preference. This is my second preference. This is my third preference. So when the utility is measured with ranks, that is called, we are measuring it in the ordinal analysis or true and indifference curve analysis. So this is the basic difference between cardinal and ordinal. Cardinal uses exact units like 1, 2, 3, 4. The unit of measurement of utility is utils. And in ordinal, we measure it as ranks. When a utility is expressed in ranks, it is called ordinal utility. It is called ordinal utility. Next heading, characteristics of utility. Characteristics of utility. First, utility is subjective. Utility is subjective. It depends upon the intensity of want. Utility is subjective. It depends upon the intensity of want. The first characteristics. So, how intense your want is, how desperately you want to get a particular thing, how important you feel a particular good is to you, the intensity of want. So, the utility is subjective. And second is, it is variable. What do you mean by variable? It varies from person to person. It varies from person to person, place to place, time to time. So that is why we say utility is subjective, because it differs from person to person. What may be very, very important for me at this point may not necessarily be important for the next person. It depends from person to person, place to place, time to time. At this particular time, I feel this is the important good to buy, I will buy it. I will feel that I don't need it at this particular moment. I can postpone my want buying for some other day. I can do that. So utility is variable. That is the second characteristic. And third is, utility is different from usefulness. Utility is different from usefulness. So these two are not the same. If you feel something is useful for you, it is a subjective matter. So don't say that this is very useful, so this is the first utility, or we give the highest preference to this. No. Utility is different from usefulness. These are the three basic characteristics of utility, which can be studied and will be studied under the heading of utility analysis and indifference curve analysis, where cardinal analysis studies the utility or the want satisfying power in terms of exact units like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is measured in utils, that is the unit, whereas ordinal, we study them in ranks. The utility is expressed in ranks, where we can rank our preferences, whether one commodity is preferred over the other. Kindly write down. Okay. Next is types of utility. Types of utility. First, TU, MU, total utility, marginal utility. Total utility and marginal utility. There are two types of utilities, concepts. Total utility, which is abbreviated as TU. Definition: total utility is the sum total of the utilities derived from the consumption of all the units of a commodity. In other words, the total psychological satisfaction, which a consumer obtains from consuming a given amount of a particular product is called total utility. And total utility will be calculated numerically as PU is equal to MU1 plus MU2 so on till MUN. When all the marginal utilities are totaled up, you get total utility, or we can also say PU is equal to sigma MU or summation MU, sum of MU. We will be using these formulas when we are doing numericals. So total utility is equal to MU1 plus MU2 plus MU3 so on till the end, that is MUN. Or simply TU can be calculated by the summing up MU, that is a Greek symbol sigma, which means sum of marginal utility. Second, marginal utility. Definition: marginal utility is an extra utility derived from consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. Marginal utility is an extra utility derived from the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity, and marginal utility will be calculated as MU is equal to delta TU upon delta Q, where like I told you, delta stands for change in total unit utility upon change in quantity, or MU n is equal to TUN minus TUN minus 1. A marginal utility for a number is equal to the total utility of that number minus the total utility of the one previous. When we are doing it, it will be very clear. When we are doing the numericals just now, we will get very clear. What does this mean? Now we see the relationship between TU and MU. I am wiping out this board over here. Relationship. Relationship between TU and MU. Okay, let us take with a simple numerical example. Let's have X commodities here, X commodity, and we have them given in units. And we have the total utility, which is also given in units. And we have marginal utility, which will be given in units. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the values are 20, 35. What is it? 35, 45, 50, 50, and 45. Okay. Look here, children. We have a particular X commodity here. When I purchase the first unit, my total utility is 20. Then when I purchase the second, it increases to 35. Purchase the third, it increases to 45. Fourth, 50. Fifth, 50. Sixth, 45. What does it show you? That when we consume or when we buy the first thing, the utils or the satisfaction which we get would be 20 when we measure them. When we buy a second product or the second good of the same kind, its utility may increase, okay, to 35. Then it increases to 45. After some time, it reaches its peak, 15. Then what happens? Then when you buy any more, it does not add any more satisfaction. Your satisfaction level remains the same, 50 utils. And after some time, if you still buy one more, then what will happen? The utility starts diminishing. A very nice example which I will give you later on, when we come to the marginal utility or the law of diminishing marginal utility. It is based on this concept. The next topic will be that only. For the moment, just remember that when we keep increasing the units, total utility will increase. It will remain stable, after which it starts decreasing. Now, how do we calculate MU? I had given you MU is equal to TUN minus N. So TU is 20, N minus 1, there is nothing above, so it remains 20. Here, TUN is 35. 35 minus 20 is 15. 45 minus 35, 10. 50 minus 45, 5. 50 minus 50, 0. 45 minus 50 is minus 5. This was the formula I had given you. MUN is equal to TUN minus TUN minus 1. When we are finding the marginal utility of any number, let's say 20, it should be the total utility of that number minus the one previous to it. There is nothing previous to it. So in this case, 20 minus nothing is a 20. Now the TUN is 35. 35 minus the one previous. 35 minus 20 is 15. 45 minus 35 is 10. 50 minus 45 is 5. 50 minus 50 is 0. 45 minus 50 is. This is how we calculate the MU. Okay. And how would you calculate TU if MU is given? Simple. Add it up. 20 plus 15, 35. 35 plus 10, 45, 45 plus 5, 50, 50 plus 0, 50, 50 minus 5, 45. Simple as that. So we stop till here, children. Time is out. We will now meet on Monday. We will now meet on Monday. Okay. Till then, complete your notes. If you find you have something missing, you can go back to the video, check it out, and do not forget to add your name in the comment section. That is for your attendance. I have been checking. I have been taking physical attendance as well, entering your name, but you are not going to the comments and giving your attendance. Please do that. That is the proof that you've been attending the classes. So you go on the comment section and please enter over there. Only your name.